Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. I'm going to sort of do my sort of like year in review as far as boxing goes. Since we, ended 2017, headed into 2018. I don't know what 2018 holds. Hopefully, as I said before, we get a lot of the fights that we want to see, that the fans want to see, and, possibly casual people want to see. You know what I'm saying? But as far as 2017, I mean, it was up and down. It had its plus, it had its minuses. But I was satisfied with what I saw for the most part. Anthony Joshua became a star. He made a name for himself by defeating, future Hall of Famer and, Vladimir Klitschko. You saw Floyd possibly for the last time in a big money fight with Conor McGregor, which was the second most successful pay-per-view boxing event in history. So it had its up and downs. But where you saw Floyd in the ring, you didn't probably approve of some of Floyd's antics and some of his comments out of the ring. Just when you're ready to just really ride for Floyd, he just says something that just completely alienates you from him and pisses you off, because at the end of the day, I know what Floyd is trying to do, but he's going about it the wrong way. I already know Floyd is bored because he isn't fighting anymore, but he just goes out of his way to just say shit that just will piss you off and alienate you from him. And that's unfortunate. Now, as far as some of the fights we saw, this year we further saw that Triple G is not the fighter that they made him out to be. He had a life and death fight with Daniel Jacobs that a lot of people thought that Daniel Jacobs won that fight. Then he had a controversial draw with Canelo Alvarez. Then we saw some shocking knockouts. We saw Charlo's shocking first round knockout of Lubin. Okay. Then we saw some upsets. We saw, the further decline and fall of Manny Pacquiao by him going into Australia and getting beat by a virtually unknown Jeff Horn, who became an instant superstar by defeating Manny Pacquiao. Then I think this year, I saw the robbery of the year with Tevin Farmer. There is nobody on God's green earth that can say that guy won that fight. And the funny part about it was, nobody believes that dude won that fight. Even the racists don't even believe that dude won that fight. They just didn't want to make videos about it. But nobody came on my channel and said that they thought that Japanese dude won that fight, because he didn't win that fight. Tevin Farmer won that fight going away. Okay, then you see the quick rise and fall of a potential great white hype, and Cletus Sheldon on his second HBO fight get the living shit beat out of him and get exposed, by a more experienced, more talented fighter. So I enjoyed every minute of that. And then you also saw another hype job in Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez get flatlined. Then, where you had the rise of Vasil Lomachenko somehow mysteriously get ranked by some people number one pound for pound by basically fighting one dude that was coming off a knockout loss, another dude that, was mediocre at best, and then a dude that had to go up 2 weight classes and fight him, where he clearly had a size and strength advantage. But people, they took it and rolled with it. But we all know if Lomachenko had been another color, they wouldn't have gave him credit for that. But, it's cool. We know what time it is. Most of us do with common sense. So, as I said before, boxing was very interesting this year. Then we saw Demetrius Andre finally fight more than once a year. You know, with two impressive victories. So we saw a lot of good shit. But then where we saw some good shit, unfortunately, we saw a lot of our favorite fighters retire. You know, we saw Andre Ward hang it up. We saw Juan Manuel Marquez hang it up. We saw Timothy Bradley hang it up. We saw Miguel Cotto hang it up. You know, we saw Vladimir Klitschko hang it up. And then, whether you believe him or not, he say he isn't fighting anymore. We saw Floyd fight for the last time. And Floyd has said that he's not coming back no matter what. But then again, he said that, he said that the first time he retired. Then he said it again, and then, after the Berto fight, and then he came back again. So, we don't know. So, like I said, boxing was very interesting this year. We further saw the racial divide between fans, versus certain fighters. We saw a lot of double standards. We saw a lot of subliminal racism, not just with the fans, but with the writers. Dan Rafael exposed himself to be the racist that we all thought he was. So, as I said before, I hope 2018 is better than 2018. One could hope that it is. As I said before, we also saw the rise of Errol Spence by going overseas, going into Kell Brooks' backyard and stopping him. He didn't go there to win on the decision. He went there to do exactly what he did, and that's stop him. As far as overall fights go, some of the decisions and the way fights were scored, it made you really question, does boxing need a shakeup? Does boxing need some kind of different type of scoring system? Because there were certain fights you have to ask yourself, what the hell were the judges watching? Even when the right guy won the fight, you were like, how did these judges come with these scorecards? Okay? You look at the Billy Joe Saunders, David Lemieux fight. I'm trying to figure out how could you find one round to give to David Lemieux. I thought it was a clear blowout. You look at the Tevin Farmer fight with the Japanese dude, at best, you would be generous if you thought that dude won 3 rounds. But it was a clear robbery. The Canelo Triple G fight. I watched it several times, and as I said before, after watching it, I think a 4th or 5th time, due to the request of the subs, I changed my mind where I had Triple G winning that fight. I had it a draw. But the problem was how one of the judges had it such a wide margin for Canelo Alvarez, to where you started to question Golden Boy. And then on the outskirts of boxing, you saw Oscar De La Hoya get away with virtually, exposing himself and his staff as nothing more than racist and being too big of a chicken shit to address it. And you saw the hypocrisy in Oscar De La Hoya talking about somebody else's criminal history, but this dude got arrested for a DUI. So, as I said before, boxing had its up and downs. What will 2018 be like? Will we finally get Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman? Will the end of the year, will we get Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder if both these men continue to take care of business? Will we get Crawford, Keith Thurman? Will we get Crawford, Jeff Horn at 147? Will Lomachenko challenge himself and fight a fighter that's bigger than him, naturally bigger than him? Or will he maneuver and circle around the 130, 135 division? Only time will tell. I'm out.